Welcome back to the Windy City Wire podcast. We're all joking around here. It's a Thursday. It's about to be winter break-ish if you get it off for work, but Christmas is just a week away, or less than a week now. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm glad to be back on the podcast. We got James Marisi and Kevin O'Malley here with me. Guys, how you doing? Glad to have you back.
Doing good. Happy holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays to the listeners. Pleasure to be back with you. Loaded show here.
Very big show. Yeah, we'll move away from our usual topics just because our hearts are pretty much deflated right now with the Bears. So, eight straight losses, we'll get into a little bit, but same old story. But we'll talk about it a little bit later. So, all right, boys, let's jump into the rundown here. We're going to start off with college football playoffs and bowl games. But this is the first year with our 12 team college football playoff bracket. And it's going to be a really good one. It starts tomorrow with a huge showdown in Indiana. I mean, Ko and James, you guys are big Notre Dame fans, so you guys are preparing for this one.
Oh yeah, ready to go.
Yeah, huge matchup. I think I'm gonna be downtown I think I'm gonna go to Declan's tomorrow and watch it. But yeah, I'm excited. First, Sammy mentioned it, it's history. First college football playoff game ever. I thought about getting tickets to go, but I mean it's gonna be friggin' cold and drive out there's forever. If it was on Saturday and maybe in the afternoon, I would have thought about it, but still be
Yeah,
good to watch.
it's a historic matchup for the state of Indiana too. You got Notre Dame in South Bend. The game's taking place in South Bend versus the Indiana Hoosiers. So you got an in-state battle. This is a great Indiana team who's just really coming to their own this year, going 11-1. And Notre Dame's always a high quality program, even though they don't really play anybody good during the year. But they're a shoe in to the playoff every year. So. It's gonna
Yeah,
be a
well, I
good one.
mean, let's relax there. I mean, Indiana's played nobody.
Yeah.
They'll
Indiana
they'll
fucking posted into the playoffs. They played nobody.
they'll learn tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good game. I really want to watch it, but I'm pulling for neither team to win. So I think I'm already a winner. So yeah. It's gonna be good.
Understood.
So give me a tail of the tape, guys. Obviously it's gonna the I don't know the name of the quarterback on Indiana, but you got your transfer guy at NC, right? For Notre Dame.
Out of Duke,
Yeah,
Duke.
dude.
Riley Leonard. Yeah, I think that Notre Dame's gonna have their way on the ground against Indiana. They've yet to play like a rushing attack like Notre Dame. I mean, Jeremiah Love and Riley Leonard are just gonna run all over them, and our defense has been great all year. I mean, I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I do, even with the cold weather. I think it might snow, but I think we're already seeing the total like move up. I already locked in the over, but yeah, I think Notre Dame
Mm,
will have their way in this one.
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with KO. They've played Michigan and Ohio State. Those are the only two comparable units they've played, and I'd consider both of those teams to have strong trenches, and I think that's going to be the difference. Notre Dame should run on them and control the game, but I don't know. It just gives me some. I don't know. It's just this Indiana team that a lot of people have been talking, and you know, I've been saying all year how they haven't beaten anyone, and I didn't really want to match up with them or SMU, and here we are. So we'll see how it
Yeah,
goes.
I mean the line opened at like 9.5 and immediately got hammered down to 7, and I think it's going to stay there. I mean, you're seeing some like 7.5 lines, but I doubt it gets to 6.5. But yeah, I mean 9.5 was a crazy number, but uh, think like a touchdown seems reasonable here, but uh, yeah, Indiana's definitely still an underrated team. Like they haven't played many teams, but they've dominated their schedule, like killed teams. So I mean, Notre Dame's just got to you know play their game. They got to show up. Like I mean, there's been years where they've not shown up in games like this. They got to show up. So
The Indiana quarterback is Curtis Rourke, and he's been okay. But yeah, I mean, like we said, hasn't really played it typically a hard schedule. The Michigan game was on the road and they only won by 5. I think they were up big at half, and then Michigan kind of came back and Indiana couldn't get anything going. And then we all watched the Ohio State game where, they marched the field first drive and then they couldn't get anything else the rest of the game. So I think it could be a similar script to that game.
Yeah, I think the big key is just yeah, really. I mean, Notre Dame has to get the ground game going. I mean, if they don't, we could be screwed because our receivers just are not good enough on the outside. Like Indiana is a great secondary, like and Riley Leonard is not a quarterback that just could, drop back and sling it. Like you can't be getting set up with third and longs here and expect to move the ball still. So if we don't get the ground game going, yeah, we could definitely see an upset, but I think they'll be able to get it going.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the Notre Dame Indiana game is probably the biggest game for all of us here in Illinois,
Yeah.
Chicagoland. My dad said like pretty much everyone from his office is going to the game. Uh, but yeah, that's the biggest one for our region. But there are some other like awesome games going on this upcoming weekend. So other games, you got SMU at Penn State. The weather's probably gonna bring some effect in there for the Texas boys out of Southern Methodist. And you got Ohio State hosting Tennessee. That's gonna be another good game. And that is in Ohio, as I said. And then you got Clemson at Texas. The orange team's playing off. So uh, but yeah, what other games are you guys looking forward to? The only game I'm looking forward to watching is the Cheez-It Bowl when Illinois plays South Carolina on New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
That's
well,
So what are
yeah,
these
I don't really,
college football
don't
playoff
really
games
care
you guys looking
about that
forward to?
game,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I looked at some of the spreads here and the SMU and Penn State. I really don't know what side I'm going to go with, but I think Penn State should win. Drew Adler, I think, is a great quarterback still. And SMU, I mean, they're a fun they're a fun team right now. I mean, they got hot at the right time. Uh, but I mean, the Big Ten's a different story. It's a different test. Uh, I think they'll be able to win that one.
Yep. I think
hmm
SMU, I just heard it's just like they're one of the worst turnover ratio teams. They just give the ball up. But then you got James Franklin, who's like 1 in 14 versus top five teams in his career at Penn State. So that might be an ugly one, but I think Penn State does pull that off. Um, Tennessee and Ohio State's interesting. I want to see Ohio State win, but it seems like Tennessee's been coming up the last few years for sure. And I'm not the biggest college football guy. You guys know more than me. I don't know much about the Tennessee Volunteers.
Uh, you want me to take it away here?
Yeah, I'm not. I know. I forget if they still have that. Is that quarterback Nico still their guy?
For which game are we talking about here?
Tennessee,
Tennessee.
Ohio State.
yeah,
I believe so.
yeah,
Well, it's Klubnik for Clemson, and then yeah, okay. So we're talking about all right.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, but I mean Tennessee. I mean they struggled against Georgia, but it's Georgia obviously. But their big thing was like they were an offense that could light it up, but and then like when every that game was so low scoring, like they didn't capitalize on any of their red zone trips. So I mean Ohio State, like I mean they've been so ugly this year to watch in some of these games, but uh, I think that's just going to be a low scoring game. And I think like 7 points is a lot, but I think Ohio State should be able to take care of business.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
As much as I hate it, I hate Ohio State. So
oh, I thought you were gonna go the other way.
no, I hate Ohio State, but I think they're going to win.
All
okay.
right,
So
well,
we're taking Ohio State spread. All right.
my
No, I'm
game.
not taking Ohio State's
Oh,
spread.
you're not.
No, it's too. I
Okay.
mean, I like the under. I like the under.
I
Uh,
don't know where we're going. I'm looking forward to. I think it's in a couple weeks, maybe. I don't have the date in front of me, but that Pop Tart Bowl where the winning team gets to eat the Pop Tart at the end of the game.
yep.
Um, and also tomorrow, Florida minus 10.5. Shout out Gainesville. I think they'll have most of their starters in. playing Tulane. I like Florida. And then Notre Dame, Penn State, Clemson, and probably Tennessee. I don't know, KO. I just don't. Ohio State, they might be just permanently damaged after that Michigan game.
That could be the case. I mean, it definitely could be. I mean, that's the worst loss ever. I mean, Ryan
And
Day is not going to get a job next year.
and I heard I don't know, I saw it on Twitter, might not be true, may or may not be true, but I saw something Tennessee fans buying like 30% of the tickets over there at the shoe. So we'll see how the crowd looks.
Yeah, and also, I mean, I got to look. I mean, some of these players, they hit the portal, so like they're not even, got to
Yeah,
look at it too. I haven't looked at it at all. So, um, but yeah, I mean, it should be a great slate of games we got here, and uh, yeah, should be fun.
Yeah, we'll get
I've
into it.
mostly just been looking at the Notre Dame, so that's what I've been really caring about.
Yeah.
cool.
And James, you got Arizona State with the bye the first round, which is great. You guys are
Oh
playing the Peach
shit.
Bowl. That's going to be on New Year's Day.
Yeah, they're an incredible story. They came out of nowhere and hey, it broke their way and they won their games. And yeah, I'm just thankful they're not on Notre Dame's side of the bracket, but I'll be cheering for them. I'll be cheering for both of them, especially, yeah, my school, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Boise State's matchup. I think they have a really pretty easy road. I mean, if Genty can keep it going, I think they could beat SMU or Penn State. I kind of want to see Boise State go far. I like Genty. I think he's
Yeah, I
great.
disagree with
It's
that.
a good story. But does anyone beat Oregon? Are they just the clear favorites to win? Go
They
Chalk.
are
They're favorites, but I mean, teams could beat them. They're beatable.
they are the favorite, but them being the number one seed and having an undefeated schedule only to have a bye and then play either Tennessee or Ohio State rather than Boise State, who gets to play SMU or Penn State. I think that three seed was the seed that, you know, the place Oregon wanted to be, and the committee's got to look at some sort of thing to change this because it's a little ridiculous how Oregon's kind of fucked over here.
It is an interesting
I
match.
agree.
Yeah. Okay, well, it's going to be a good one. And fun fact, James, you mentioned the Pop-Tart Bowl, and I mentioned the Cheez-It Bowl. So they are actually both taking place within a few days of each other at the Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida. And that's where I was hanging out this past week doing the Pop Warner football championships at Camping World.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they have like they have a whole shipment of Pop Tarts and stuff. They had it all ready. They got their Pop Tart tents and stuff. They said they have all their Cheez-Its ready to go for the game. So it's cool to like get a little back behind the scenes look at the stadium.
That
That is cool.
Yeah, it's
Get
fun.
some intel.
Exactly. Yeah, I walked around the whole stadium. I'm like, just gonna take a look. So I was walking all around. So it was fun. Yeah, all the Gatorade coolers were full. That's for sure.
Nice.
There
I
you
had one.
go.
Oh yeah. All right, we're gonna move on here. We're looking forward to college football. We'll be talking about that over the next few weeks. Obviously, this playoff's gonna go on for a while. But moving on in the rundown, we're gonna talk a little baseball. The Cubs made a few big moves this past week. Um, and I'm just gonna let JMO start. You just please give us the news, James. Cubs made two big trades.
Yeah, so the Cubs made a trade with the Astros after a week full of rumors between Seiya Suzuki, Cody Bellinger, and then finally Isaac Paredes, and ultimately they got Kyle Tucker from the Astros for Isaac Paredes, a prospect, and Hayden Wisniewski, relief pitcher. Um, the people around baseball are in love with this trade, and I don't know where it came from, but he's on graphics with Juan Soto, Kyle Tucker is, and his production is plenty similar to Juan Soto's. And him being in the AL, him playing on the Astros, yeah, they've been in the playoffs several years, but I got to be honest with you guys, this guy hasn't really been on my radar too much, and I haven't really watched him too much, but I hear he's a great player.
Yeah, I think Kevin and
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
James, you're a baseball guy too. Okay, I'm just gonna jump in here.
Well,
Um,
still.
but Kevin and I are bigger baseball guys than you, and we could probably say that Kyle Tucker's been one of the best hitters, and he could steal bases and play good defense in the league over the past few years. But he's just quiet. He's not your typical like show-offy superstar, but he's definitely a very solid player, and I think the trade is a win only if we can sign him to a long-term deal. That's my gist. But I think Cam Smith giving him up, that's tough. He was going to be a good third baseman, I think. Or was he a third baseman or catcher? Can't remember. Either of those, we needed Cam Smith, and he's a good player that the Astros are getting.
I'm just glad, Owen Casey and, Shaw's probably going to play third base in place of Paredes now. So that's going to be a big storyline prospect starting in the starting lineup come opening day. So
Yeah. What do you think, Kale?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Kyle Tucker's an absolute stud. No doubt about that. He's probably like a top 10 hitter in the league for sure. And he plays good defense. So, I mean, you guys got a good defensive outfield, like real good defensive. I mean, put him in right, GC in center, and Happ in left. Uh, so that'll be good. Basically, I mean, the trade is if you guys are going to be re-signing him or not. I mean, if you don't re-sign him, then you guys got fleeced, unless
Yeah.
you win a World Series, obviously. But uh, because he's going to get paid, he's going to get paid this offseason, this next offseason, especially after what Soto got. I mean, he's going to get
$500 mil.
north of 500 mil for
Yeah.
sure. Uh, so I mean, it's just up to the Cubs of whether or not they want to drop the bag on him.
Yeah, we'll
yeah,
see. Cheap old Ricketts will get the job done.
yeah, that's why it just gives me pause. And unless he has a tremendous year, he falls in love with the city and they make a deep playoff run and lose, horrifically, and he wants to run it back, maybe he does. And if we fork over the money, but we know who this owner is, and this is the first major guy they've brought in since, I'd put
Soriano,
this,
I'd say. I mean, like, he's like a caliber Soriano guy we're going to sign for tried 8 years.
I'd say that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd say he's probably got a talent level equal or probably definitely better than rookie Chris Bryant, or not rookie, but like MVP Chris Bryant.
Oh yeah, Tucker's
Yeah.
not. He's a stud. He's an absolute stud.
He's going to bat 280. He's going to hit 35 bombs, 100 RBIs, steal 20 bases. Yeah, he's a good player. And he's going to walk too. His on base percentage is going to be good. And he's not going to strike out a ton. He's going to strike out maybe more than 100 times, I guess. Get my stats right, KO. You could fact check me, but he's a good player, around all around guy.
I don't remember what his K percentage is.
Yeah.
I know the Astros never struck out as a team, but I don't know what his individual.
Yeah, I know Bregman never did. That's for sure. But then the second big trade the Cubs did this week, that was a little bit of a head scratcher, but I kind of have a feeling what they're going to be doing. They out offloaded Cody Bellinger and his contract to the New York Yankees, and we got a 30-year-old pitcher who's a reliever I've never heard of back, which we salary dump. Maybe we're going to sign somebody big. Maybe that's the plan, or try to get somebody off the waivers like Luis Castillo, say. But it was odd trade to see, odd return, I'd say.
Odd return, yes, but trade was imminent with him. I was gonna say, yeah, they just have a crowded outfield, and they need to start bringing some of these prospects up and playing them, or trade them and get new guys in. But you might be onto something. I think starting pitching might be on its way, or I saw they signed Carson Kelly, so that kind of fills your catcher with Amaya and Kelly. Um, but yeah, I mean, maybe we get another ad, but I think the lineup's pretty much set.
It looks like the Cubs love having two catchers, one that's more defensive and one that can, I guess, hit like Amaya. What did he bat like 220 last year? I mean, he's young, but or he's
That
made.
It's one of the prospects. They have a catching prospect down in AAA who's, he could come up, but
That's true.
Hitting catchers are hard to come by. So I
That's
mean,
true. That's true.
uh,
we had
but yeah,
one,
it was definitely a clear salary dump. I mean, I think that was kind of expected though. I mean, once they brought in Tucker, uh,
100%.
so I mean, yeah, you definitely need some more help in the bullpen, that's for sure. So When you got Tanner Scott out there, you got Kirby Yates, you can make a move for. And then, yeah, obviously you could use a starter, like a stud pitcher too, like Castillo. I mean, I thought they were in talks with Luzardo with Miami.
I saw trade rumors. You would give up way too much. Like,
Yeah, for Luzardo, I saw what they'd be willing to, like what the talks were, and that'd be way too much to give up for Luzardo.
yeah,
I
we're
mean,
giving him like prospects and draft picks and stuff like that. And I
yeah,
get
like
Luzardo's a lefty and he's decent, but like it's not groundbreaking.
Luzardo has a ton of upside, but he can't stay healthy. And when he has been healthy, like the last year and a half or whatever, he's been terrible. So, I mean, when he's on, he's electric, and like that's what teams are hoping for him to be. But you can't be trading him for at that price, then like as if he's already that good. I mean,
Hmm.
And
so
if
that'd be dumb if the Cubs uh made a trade like that.
I agree.
and if you bring Lizardo in, you have four lefties in the rotation.
Really,
Doesn't that
four?
Steele, Shota, um,
Oh yeah, wow.
That guy with the glasses.
yeah, Wicks, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would
Wicks is
give,
a lefty.
Yeah, Wicks is.
yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's four lefties. Yeah.
Yeah. I like Tanner Scott. I thought actually the Cubs should have traded for him last year at the deadline. Obviously it would be a big asking price, but he's a decent closer. He played great as whoever he was with at the end of the year last year. I think it was the Padres. Played great.
Yep.
Yep. So
I
White Sox
know,
make any moves, Cal?
Yeah, Crochet.
That's true.
Uh,
oh
Yes.
yeah.
Big
yeah,
trade coming out of Chicago.
traded Crochet. We got Kyle Teal, Brady Montgomery, and two other random prospects. I don't fucking know. I don't really care, to be honest. I mean, they're all going to be. They're not going to turn out. I mean, the Sox don't develop any prospects, so I mean,
People
team is dead. I mean, as long as
people liked
Reinsdorf's the owner, the team is dead.
people liked the catcher they brought in.
Oh yeah, he's. I mean, we got a great return. We got a great return for Crochet, but I don't expect it to work out. We got a great return for Sale. We got a better return for Sale with the same fucking team,
Yeah.
Well, you
and
got
that didn't work out.
Talkman.
So yeah, we got Talkin. I like Talkin a lot. So
That it'll give you good at bats.
yeah,
He's gonna get on base, which I
he's gonna
like.
work the count. That's for sure.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
got that going for us.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll win 35 games this year. Who knows?
I saw
I
it was the lowest over under season prediction in DraftKings MLB history. Over under 49 games won for the White Sox
My
Last
God.
year or this year?
this year. Like you
Yeah,
can bet on it right now, minus 110 for each side, over under 49 and a half.
yeah, that's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. It's sad. I still want to
Yep.
go to a game with you guys this year.
Cool.
You know,
I'm
Well,
not
we sh
going.
come on, I'll buy you $4 tickets and we'll go have a dinner.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Come on.
fuck. I don't want to waste my money on the White
Yeah.
Sox.
Okay.
Dude, we should make mention Owen's not here, but I know, Willie Adames, he's out of the division, going to the Giants. So, Sam, I don't know about you, but awfully similar to last year. My hopes are high. I think the division's right there. Um, what do you think?
I mean, I think we got to make some moves before we start contending. I
It's
What
think
do you
Adamas
mean?
embarrassing, man. The Cubs should be owning this division. I mean,
he
Exactly.
they should be
should,
owning this
yeah,
division. That's
should.
crazy.
It's bad.
No other team spends money, and then the Cubs have all this money and they don't spend it.
Yeah, and the Cardinals are going to get rid of Arenado by start of season, I bet.
Well,
Uh,
didn't he just waived his trade clause to
he didn't
not
want to
waived it.
go somewhere. It was the
No,
Mets.
not waived it. He exercised it
Yeah,
when they made a deal for him to go to Houston. It was
Yeah.
accepted and everything, and then he said, "No, I don't want to go there."
yeah,
So
yeah. They're trying to ship. Yeah, I mean, Cubs every year that I feel like they flounder, and I think going back to the Adamas going to Giants. He'll play well there, but I feel like if you're a good hitter, you don't want to go to play in San Francisco at that ballpark. It's just a hard hitting place.
that is true.
Yeah,
That's
They
valid, but
paid a lot of money. So
you did. Yeah,
he's a good player.
yeah,
yeah. Did Conforto get signed? That's just another big name I was thinking of.
I don't know. Big name Conforto. What?
Yeah, Conforto.
I thought I saw
Let's
he
see.
did. There's names
Tucker
available.
Barnhart is going to the Texas Rangers on a minor league contact or
Wow,
contract. Let's
that's
see.
league breaking.
I hate you.
Just
That's league breaking.
Cody Hewer's on the Rangers now. Remember that
Hey,
guy was on the Cubs for a
yep.
minute?
Sox gave them to you guys.
Yeah, he's a Sox guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awful. Yeah, and then MLB's website doesn't even want to work today. So, uh, let's see. White Sox get Bryce Wilson. Yankees got Max Fried. That's a big move.
Wow.
Um, let's see if I see any other recognizable names. Atlanta Braves signed Brian De La Cruz. He was pretty good last year. Uh, Cubs got Jose Urena to a minor league deal.
Oh
Decent starter.
God.
He's not that good coming from the Marlins, but
Oh God.
um, any other names? Some guy named Nien Hsi Yang is going to the
Okay,
Giants.
why are we even
Okay,
announcing that?
yeah, okay. We can move on now. So nothing else is really going
Nobody.
on. The Yankees are making moves. The Red Sox are trying to buy pitching. Cubs, hopefully they sign somebody else. So we'll come
Well,
up
I
with
did see
pieces.
Roki Sasaki met with somebody. That wasn't the Dodgers, so I forgot what team it was though.
What about
Maybe
it?
like the Roki Sasaki. He just met with. So I forgot what team it was, but it wasn't the Dodgers. So
Cubs.
I know it wasn't the Cubs.
No, it's probably the Mariners.
Unless it was like the Mets. Actually, might have been like the Mets.
I can't deal with the Mets. I can't deal with the Dodgers. Those are my two hated teams. Yeah, it's tough.
Dodgers for sure. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Any other stuff on baseball, guys?
Nothing.
Okay. The time we're dreading, Bears talk.
Oh
Last week was
God.
another embarrassment. Monday night game, the early window, I guess you could call it 7 p.m. Central Time. The Bears, guess they came in with some hope, being in a dome. You got this third round pick out of Yale. They threw in at left tackle, and he looked terrible. The offense didn't look good. They couldn't run the ball really. Caleb's passes are going everywhere, and he's missing
They
wide
actually
open shots.
surprisingly ran it kind of well.
Oh, okay, well.
A
But
little
I guess
bit.
they ran it kind of well, but we lost still. So it was just another
yeah,
embarrassment, our eighth straight loss.
yeah, miserable game. Yeah, coming to the game, I thought we were going to be completely shut out on the ground. I mean, the Vikings have like the best run defense in football, and but I mean, Swift was actually fine for some space, but and then it started off with that. I mean, the fucking going for it on fourth down, a minute into the game, on your own 40-yard line, and we're running it behind Gerald Everett. Why are we running pitches to behind
Why is
Gerald
he
Everett?
out there so much?
And
We've said this every week.
and running behind this rookie left tackle who's just getting smoked all game. He's dog shit. Probably our worst O lineman performance by any player in any team this year. And instead of running behind like Tevin Jenkins or so, uh, very questionable there. Uh, Caleb did not look good. He's getting blitzed all game. I mean, Flores was drawn up hella blitzes all game. I mean, this second drive of the game finally got something going, and then Aaron just lets Bernard go untouched and just damn near takes Caleb's head off, strips sack. They return it like 30 yards. Uh, I mean, yeah, just a horrible game. Horrible game. Another game where the Bears didn't score any points in the first half. Uh, wide receivers are dropping balls left and right. Caleb's missing guys. O line's not blocking. Defense actually played pretty solid. They bounced back after the nightmare versus San Francisco, but I mean they still didn't look that good. Um, yeah, I mean Vikings are a good team though. I mean,
Yeah.
give them credit.
Yep, we're 4-10 now, 8 game losing streak. I guess I'll ask you guys two questions. The first one being, does polls need to go? Do we just need to start over again?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yes.
As a general manager who was an offensive lineman, you'd think he'd have some talent at looking at an offensive lineman and saying, "Oh yeah, that guy could be good," not just like saying, "Oh, that guy could be good," and he turns out to be terrible, like the Bears
Yeah.
have been.
Yeah. I mean, actually, yeah, he's got to go. I mean, after seeing Kieran, well, I mean, he's terrible. I mean, he's awful. I mean, he's a project, but like that's a third round pick. I mean, he should be going in the fifth round then.
Yeah,
Uh,
Coleman
I mean,
Shelton, all these guys.
Coleman Shelton, you bring him in, he's terrible. I mean,
Bates.
yeah, Bates, and then you cut Nate Davis. You Braxton Jones is pretty mid.
Doug
Tevin
Kramer
Jenkins,
forgetting to check in.
Doug Kramer.
Oh,
Oh, that was
yeah.
ridiculous. He should be cut. That is unbelievable. Didn't even come like they showed the replay. He didn't even go near the referee. Like he just completely just did not do his job, and that cost us points. I mean, we score there. We're only down by 7 points, and it's a
Mhm.
different game. Uh, Pretty pathetic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Team's
bad.
an absolute mess. I mean, we're gonna lose out, which is fine. We want to at this point. I mean, they just interviewed DJ. Did you see that interview? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm glad he's saying it how it is. I mean, like the season's done. He's basically like, oh, I'm thinking about vacation. Fine. He's keeping it real. I mean, season's over. I'm fine with it.
Yep. We need to
I,
lose every game rest of the year. I want a good pick again. Can we get one of these?
I
Yeah.
I agree with you guys. It's just crazy where we are and how much needs to be done. And Ryan Poles is he's he's a dead man walking, guys. Like,
Yeah. I
I,
mean,
I it's
sorry.
almost like having that letting that guy play Amagaji play on like that game. Do you understand like who you have as your quarterback? Like
It's
it's
crazy.
it's like I don't think Caleb should play if this like Tevin Jenkins is on the injury report, Nate Ryan Bates is on the injury report. Uh there's a bunch of O linemen on the injury report, and you're playing the Lions on Sunday. Yeah, they're beat up, but these games are meaningless, and he's not gonna get any better in these 3 games. These 3 games are a wash, and I just say protect him, but it's just really sad what's happened and unfortunate, but it's his fault. It's Ryan Poles' fault.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, you this Kieran dude makes I don't know how to say his last name, but
The DJ,
makes it
I'm a Raji, I'm a
yeah, whatever. I mean, makes his debut start at left tackle after Caleb has already gotten sacked 60 times damn near this season going into that game. And at left tackle, gets matched up with Bernard, who's one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Brian Flores blitzes more than any other defensive coordinator in the league. I mean, it's just a recipe for disaster. I mean, you're asking your quarterback to get killed out there. Borum,
Exactly.
Borum should have been starting. Uh, and I mean, it's just terrible, man. It's terrible.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's malpractice to send that rookie out there in
Yeah,
Minnesota. Oh, they had a whiteout. They had a freaking whiteout. Like it's just what do you expect to happen?
exactly.
And he only
It,
he only got sacked 2 times, but he was taking some shots.
all game taking mad shots. He's just getting rid of the ball, and I mean, he's running for his life back there. He might have had a clean pocket on maybe 5 of his passes all game. I mean, it's
yeah.
crazy.
I know. I know.
All right, we'll stop there on the Bears. We'll definitely keep talking about them in the next few shows, but we got a lot of things to work on. All right, we're
Yep.
moving into our fantasy football playoffs. James, you said you had a question for me.
Yeah. I've been sitting on this one. Uh
Again, I'm not even the league manager anymore. I deserve to
100%.
be, but
100%. Or I mean, that's not I'm not going there. I'm not going there. What happened or what was the thought process behind not giving James Cook the go?
I told him the same thing, James.
Just
I
what
would
what
have
like
lost if I had him in anyway. To preface this, I lost my last week matchup. I thought Isaiah Pacheco, they said that he was going to be the guy. Kareem Hunt's been brought down the past 2 weeks. It was a bad weather game, hey, maybe the Chiefs will just keep handing it off. And James Cook was going up against the second ranked rush defense in the league last week. So I'm like, And James Cook had a bad week the week before too. So I'm like, let's give Pacheco a chance. And yeah, it's bad. It's I my team outperformed the week before. I put up like 170, and then nobody.
Yeah.
It it helps you would have lost regardless of
Yeah,
played or not. But I just I remember I wanted to ask you. That's it.
it's frustrating. Yeah, at least I'm not in the last place game. But KO's team's looking good.
Looking real good.
Yep.
Nice.
All
Now
right.
with Monty out, Gibbs is going to be the league winner I needed.
Yeah. Okay, James. Let's do this trivia here. We're gonna close out the show. We got 3 minutes left.
All right.
KO, I sent a picture to the chat of the question and hints. So this James can read it out to us and be the judge.
All right, I'm gonna read I'll read the question out for the listeners. Here it is. Name the 30 tight ends in NFL history with 10 plus receiving touchdowns in a season.
Yeah.
So do you
Okay.
see that picture I sent, Kevin?
Yep.
So those are hints. So you get to go
All
first. Like name somebody and James will
right.
tell if it's right.
All right. 2023 Lions, Sam Laporta.
In there. That's one.
Okay, Chiefs is Kelsey, 2022.
Kelsey's in there.
Okay.
Ravens, 2019, Mark Andrews.
Uh
That's in
Niners, 2022, Kittle. That's correct.
in.
Let's go.
I'm the judge.
Okay, go. Come on.
Let's go. I mean, I'm trying to think of a lock here. All right, let's go. We'll just rip Niners 2013 Vernon Davis.
Um in there.
Like that. Let's go Bears, 1961.
Oh, nice.
That's Ditka.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Bengals 2015 Tyler Eifert.
That was the one I was gonna do next.
In there.
Okay. Jaguars 2010. That's got to be Mercedes Lewis.
In there. In there. Sorry.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Patriots 2015 Gronk.
In there.
Broncos 2014. Julius Thomas.
In there.
Packers 2020 is that Jimmy Graham?
In there.
Let's
Give me
go.
Redskins 2015. Is that Jordan Reed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's go. Seahawks 2017 is that Jimmy Graham?
Right above Jordan Reed. Yep.
Is Colts 2009 Dallas Clark?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We have less than a minute. I don't know. We got about 20 seconds. Okay, the last two.
Chargers 2014. It's got to be Antonio Gates, right?
On there.
Is Vikings 2009 Vashante Shanko?
Yes. Close out on
Wow,
that.
that's a hell of a pull,
Yes.
All
Sam.
right, for listening to the Windy City Wire podcast, thanks everybody. Have a great holiday.
Dang.